In 2012, a 13-year-old kid started a YouTube channel in his bedroom. Nobody watched. For 5 years, almost nobody watched. Today, that channel has almost 500 million subscribers. This is Nobody Told Me. And tonight, we find out exactly what he actually did. Jimmy Donaldson, known online as MrBeast, currently the most subscribed individual creator in the history of YouTube, and one of the most studied success stories in the history of digital media. Most people think MrBeast got lucky, or that he just happened to go viral at the right time. Neither of those things is true. What Jimmy actually did is one of the most deliberate and methodical approaches to building an audience that has ever existed, and almost nobody explains it clearly. Let us start at the beginning. Jimmy started his channel in 2012 when he was 13 years old. One of his early series was called Worst Intros on YouTube. He would react to other creators with bad channel intros. For the next 5 years, he uploaded consistently, and barely anyone noticed. By 2017, 5 years in, he had around 100,000 subscribers, which sounds decent until you realize he had been working on this every single day for 5 years. But here's what Jimmy was doing during those 5 years that almost nobody talks about. He was studying obsessively. He watched thousands of YouTube videos, not for entertainment, but to study them like a scientist. He tracked exactly where viewers dropped off. He analyzed which thumbnails got clicked. He reverse-engineered what made videos work. He described this period himself, saying he was relentlessly and unhealthily obsessed with studying virality in the YouTube algorithm. He would wake up, order food, and sit at his computer studying nonstop all day. One of his early breakthrough videos was counting to 100,000 out loud. It took 40 hours and got tens of millions of views. Nobody told Jimmy that was a bad idea. He was essentially doing what no other creator was doing, treating YouTube like a science experiment instead of a creative outlet. And then he figured out something that changed everything. YouTube does not primarily reward views. It rewards watch time. Specifically, how long people stay watching your video relative to its total length. Once Jimmy understood this, he stopped making videos people would click on. He started making videos people could not stop watching. The formula he developed was deceptively simple. Start with a hook so strong that leaving feels impossible. Then raise the stakes every 30 seconds so the viewer always needs to see what happens next. Short, fast cuts, constant new information, visual variety every few seconds, and an ending that delivers on every promise the video made at the start. Nobody told me engineering a video to be impossible to stop watching was a learnable skill, but for Jimmy, it became a science. Now, here's the decision that truly separated MrBeast from everyone else: what he did with the money. Most successful YouTubers take their earnings and upgrade their lifestyle. Better apartment, better car, better equipment. Jimmy did the opposite. He dropped out of college, moved back home, lived on dollar store ramen, and took every single dollar his channel made and put it straight back into the next video. The logic was this: a video that costs $10,000 to make gets 10 times more attention than a video that costs $1,000. More attention means more subscribers. More subscribers means more revenue. More revenue goes back into the next video. He started treating attention like a currency. Every view earned was reinvested into earning more views. The machine kept running. This is the compounding effect applied to content creation, and Jimmy applied it relentlessly for years. By 2019, he was spending $100,000 per video. By 2021, that number was in the millions. And in November 2021, he spent $3.5 million recreating Squid Game in real life. Nobody told me spending $3.5 million on one YouTube video was a rational business decision. But that video has now been watched over 900 million times. So, Then Jimmy did something in 2022 that no major individual creator had done at scale before. He dubbed his entire channel into multiple languages, not subtitles. Full professional voice dubbing in Spanish, French, Portuguese, Hindi, and over a dozen other languages. The insight behind this was simple but powerful. Only about 13% of the world speaks English. By creating language-specific versions of his content, Jimmy unlocked 87% of the planet that had been completely unreachable before. Nobody told me the strategy for becoming the #1 creator in the world included making your content available to the entire world, which in retrospect seems obvious. By July 2024, Jimmy became the first individual creator to reach 300 million subscribers. Today, MrBeast has almost 500 million subscribers, a net worth of over $1 billion. A chocolate brand called Feastables generating over $250 million in annual revenue, and a show on Amazon Prime called Beast Games with a budget of $100 million. All of it built from a bedroom with $0 and 5 years of making videos almost nobody watched. So, what can Max actually learn from this? Here is the plain English version. Lesson 1. Study before you create. Jimmy spent years understanding what actually worked before he doubled down on it. Most creators do the opposite. The approach that wins is understanding the game before you play it seriously. Lesson 2. Watch time beats view count every time. Your goal is not to get people to click. Your goal is to make them unable to leave. Lesson 3. Reinvest before you reward yourself. The gap between channels that stay small and channels that grow is almost always reinvestment. Whatever you earn, put a meaningful portion straight back into making the next thing better. Lesson 4. Consistency beats talent every single time. Jimmy was not the most talented creator on YouTube in 2012. He was the most consistent. He showed up every day for 5 years before he broke through. Lesson 5. Think globally from day one. The internet has no borders. Nobody told Max that making content accessible to the whole world instead of just your own country is one of the highest leverage decisions any creator can make. Jimmy Donaldson started with nothing. No connections, no money, no audience, just a bedroom and an obsessive willingness to study the game until he understood it better than anyone. Nobody told me the formula for building the biggest YouTube channel on earth was that simple and that hard. Nobody told Jimmy Donaldson at 13 years old in that bedroom that 14 years later, his name would be known by 500 million people. Same person. Completely different world. Now it is your turn. Subscribe to Nobody Told Me, because the most important lessons are always hiding in plain sight, and somebody has to explain them in stick figures.